Okay, and then we also talked about potentially at the end having like some options of things that they might be able to do for further advancement of their understanding of adverbs too, right?
Yes.
So that'll be something you could do as well. All right, let's talk about how you plan to collect data. So I know you're doing a formative assessment on the whiteboards. So tell me how you plan to collect that information.
Probably just seeing who, like asking the questions and then writing down the students' names of who's not understanding like what adverb to correctly use, just so I can go back and tell like obviously Miss Kearney like which ones did not understand and which ones did, so I know who needs help in the future.
Yeah, and also when they're doing their um, wrap up, that'll give you an idea too, maybe who they might need some clarifying questions or something like that. I know they're wanting to do it on their own, but just making sure that they understand what it is that they're being expected to do. Great. All right, let's talk about the materials you plan to use to teach the critical content at the appropriate level of rigor. What materials do you plan to use for this lesson?
I'm using the video. And then I'm also using the sentence strips, the index cards, the worksheet, and then if they are done, like we said, their iPad
Okay.
or um, like an illustration. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then don't forget like markers too and erasers and all those types of things, right? Your whiteboards. I'm trying to think what else. And any of the things you need copies of as
Okay.
well. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about um, how you plan it or how the instructional strategies align with the lesson objective.
Definitely. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. For academic feedback, I'll definitely be taking in like who, like, cause there's questions in the video, so definitely like making sure that there's reassurance to them when they answer the question, whether they're right or wrong, because the video will be the first thing that they get introduced to. That's gonna introduce them into adverbs. High level questioning. For that, obviously I have to go through and kind of change some of the questions I have so it's higher for them. But definitely getting that to make sure that they're staying on task and understanding what an adverb is and not just like answering like the basic question of it, but also like the different questions and what it describes. For differentiation, like we kind of said earlier, like I'll have it on the board mainly for them to learn to know what the lesson objectives are. And then the formative assessment, it's kind of going to help me definitely with the academic feedback. Those two are kind of going to align because it helps me know like who's getting the information and who's not. And then engaging learners, like definitely with the sentence strip and the index card, like that'll engage them and hopefully being able to identify which correct adverb needs to be put into the sentence. And then literacy, definitely at the end because they have to write two sentences using the correct adverb and explaining like what word it describes.
Okay. Thank you for being so thorough with those. All right. And I've got to look at, I had pulled up your action plan. So give me a second. I got to find the other document. All right. So talk about any adaptations you plan to make in regards to the lesson. So how do you plan to make, clarify when needed?
I'll definitely stop because I think that definitely in the class that one or two students are gonna kind of get lost a little bit because some will. Probably stopping like how I did last time and going through like what the adverb is and like how it describes each word, like different. Oh, how will I word this? Sorry. and describe like time or like the place or how someone is doing something. So definitely just making sure that each student is getting the correct information.
Right. And also, I think we've talked about like you modeling it for them so that going back, if they're, especially if they're holding their whiteboards up, not knowing what to do, you can go back and kind of explain it again. All right. How do you plan to, if you were in the like classroom the rest of the week, how would you plan to remediate for any students that are not grasping the content?
Definitely like I said on like Seesaw, like Miss Kearney said that there are different like lessons that they can click on to learn more about adverbs, and there are different like games on there. I'm not exactly sure what they are. I can ask her. But definitely going through the Seesaw and maybe having them do um like giving them not incorrect, but wrong sentence structure and seeing if they can correct it or not.
Okay. And then how do you plan to have extension for those that are grasping the content and need further enrichment?
Um, I haven't really thought about this, so I don't know.
Well, we did discuss
Yes.
you could have a choice board of some things that they could do when they're done early, right? So that could
Yeah.
be something that they could be doing to um, further their knowledge of adverbs.
Okay.
But there, you can think of other things as well. But yeah, thinking about something that some students are going to grasp it so quickly, and then some of them are going to need more time. So just making sure that you have something for those guys to do that can help them even further their knowledge of it would be great.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about your action plan and the goals that you plan to achieve in this lesson. Do you want me to talk
Oh,
about it?
sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I know I definitely put like directions because that went over my head in the first lesson. So
Mhm.
definitely making sure that I model everything. Um,
You had down writing down directions on notes or something like that to remember and rehearsing.
yeah. I have been rehearsing so I make sure to tell them the directions before everything, like before definitely like with the sentence and the words so they know what they have to be doing. Um, so that'll probably be a big one. I don't know what else I put on there.
And you put down like having a positive like environment and seating arrangement for the students as well.
Yeah, definitely because I think with the when we had to like change for the experiment, like I kind of felt like it would have been better for them to like come around in a circle, almost like a half circle, yeah, half circle, because some of them were like behind others, and I really wasn't sure if they were like seeing it, like everything, because it was kind of high up, so.
Okay. All right. So then let me do this recap here. So essentially what I have gathered from today is that you expect students to demonstrate understanding of adverbs and that they will be identifying them and writing them in sentences with 70% mastery by the end of the 2-day lesson is what you have down. So I guess the next day, Miss Kearney's picking up with that. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then as far as instructional strategies for me to be looking for, you have paired discussions with partners that you'll be seeing, or I'll be seeing and hearing students discuss adverbs, and that they will have you have down adverb tree.
Oh, I gotta change that. I had
Okay.
an adverb tree for the wrap up, and then we changed that.
Okay. You could also put down you're using, whiteboards with performative assessment too. So, okay. So I'm going to be looking for students to be engaging with conversations about adverbs, they'll be listening and hearing you do some different games and things like that with them with the adverbs, and then they'll be doing an independent practice. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're going to be especially focused on working on modeling and explaining directions, creating a positive learning environment, and rehearsing what it is that you're going to be doing tomorrow. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for today. So thank you so much for going through that with me.
Thank you.